What's going on, guys? Got another video for you. Now, I would like to call this one a unicorn because you'll understand why in a minute. And what I really want to say is it has a lot to do with simping, okay? And I'll leave it there. Let's get this started and let's get into this video.
I know y'all didn't ask me, but the way that I found my husband was to stop taking advice online. And I just want to talk about this a little bit because the advice that the women are giving online about the men that they're talking about, they're not talking about the husband type of men. When you see in a post or a rant or women talking about men who do this and they're giving all this advice, most of the time they're talking about men who will never, ever, ever marry anybody. Coffee date this, expensive date that, 50-50, splitting bills. Those are not husbands. I mean, there are full-on podcasts about men that will never, ever marry anyone. And then furthermore, I see a lot of advice about your boyfriend, your man, your this, your that. When you find you a husband, he's not even going to be your boyfriend. Just hear me out. And I know y'all think y'all need to get to know somebody for a long time. The man needs to get to know you. You need to be engaged for a long time. But those men are boyfriends. That's just what they are. They're boyfriends. They will shack up with you. They will date you. They will do a whole bunch of stuff. They will do everything but marry you. You will go through so many storms with those men because that's what it is. It's just a big storm. It's never meant to be a marriage. A husband is a different type of man. None of that advice that is given on podcasts and through leveling up content and stuff is going to apply to that man. None of the conversations that y'all have are going to be the conversations that people are having on social media that are going through toxic situations. He's going to already know to provide. He's going to already know what he needs to do in a relationship. He's going to already know what he wants. Y'all are going to jump right into planning y'all lives together and combining y'all lives together. Now, will he be perfect? No. But the gag is, neither are you. And it's like, the more you take advice from people online about dating and what restaurant to go to, and if a man do this and if a man do that, you're going to date men that type of advice applies to. You're going to have to know all of those manipulation tactics and when to call back and when to text back and when to chase and when not to chase. You only need those stupid lessons when you're in a stupid situation. That advice does not apply to a God-sent marriage. Example, the money conversation. Everybody talks about money. And for a long time, I consumed a lot of content because I was a single mom that was all about finding a provider man. Well, when I met my now husband, we never really had none of those conversations. He just came in the picture and just took care of everything. I mean, this man put me on his car insurance, even down to making sure I had Norton security on my phone and on my computer. Matter of fact, my computer was going too slow, so he bought me a new computer. Everything he did was about making my life better. There was no discussion, no debate, no planning, none of that. He just automatically did it. Now, I'm not going to pretend like we don't have disagreements because we have disagreements, but most of the time they're about stupid things. They're never about any of the things that I was consuming when I was single. Even when you see women talking about men that hate women and men that hate their wives, that stuff does not apply to real men who want to be married, who love you. And not to mention, if you find a God-fearing man, your marriage will be about Christ and he will understand that. Even if he's not wealthy, 6 figures, 7 figures, he will find a way to take care of you. If I can give any advice, my advice would just be like to get away from any advice that looks like advice.
Okay, I've let her talk long enough. Bottom line, guys, from what it looks like to me is it looks like she found her a nice simp, okay? She said kids. She said, he came in and swooped in and basically took care of her. She didn't have to ask for anything. And yeah, there's more to it than that, guys. I have to believe that. There's definitely more to it than that. And hopefully we will get to it. So let's continue.
I know that I'm on here giving advice, but sis, hear me out. A lot of those women that are giving advice and men, they have been through so many toxic situations that they think that they are the be all, go to person for relationships. And I used to be like that too. Like, once you've been through so many toxic things, you think you can teach people how to avoid toxicity. So what that teaches people to do is to go around and look at toxic traits in people and date men that are probably toxic and try to solve some mystery of why they're doing certain things and check off a box of whether they're toxic or not. I never once thought my husband was toxic. Nothing about him was ever toxic. He never not answered my calls. He never took forever to call me back. In fact, I remember in the first week or so where we were talking, he had AT&T and he was having like a service issue for like an hour. And this man went on Facebook, sent me a message and let me know that he was talking to AT&T and he was getting bad service. And if I didn't hear from him, it was because his service was bad, because that's how clear he was in how much he communicated and how much he reassured me and didn't want me to worry.
Yeah, that's a super simp right there. That is a Simptonian if I have ever seen one. Okay. Too many things have me saying that. Okay. One in particular, she said that you don't have to be in a relationship very long or be engaged for a long period of time to marry or find your husband. Okay. So it looks to me as if this guy, I guess they shacked up quickly. They got married quickly. It was really no time for them to vet each other. That tells me another thing. That tells me that the worst is yet to come. There's something else that could be bubbling up, guys. Whenever you enter that soon in a relationship, guys, you're going to find a lot of things out later on that you probably didn't necessarily think you were going to find out. And we just haven't gotten there. She just hasn't gotten there yet. Okay. Now, another thing this tells me is if this guy is doing all of this to appease her, and she has kids, and he comes with baggage and things of that nature, that tells me he's a simp. That also tells me that she is wearing the pants in this relationship. Okay. And it's not a beautiful thing. It's not a good thing. Now, like I said, that is part of the problem with a lot of these women, guys. The big part of the problem is these simps. These simps out here are making these women think that, yes, this is how it should be. This is how it is out here. And it's not. Okay. And that's where they get tricked. All right. All these simps and these Simptonians that are coming into their DMs and making them think that they're this and blowing their head up. And then they're taking that information into the real world. Right. And they're taking that, and basically guys coming up to them, trying to approach them. They're shooting them down because they say, no, you're not good enough. I can shoot higher because I have these guys over here saying that I'm this and I'm all that. But then those guys never come. The guys they are looking for never come. Okay, because they're not checking for them like that. And then they're wondering what's going on here. Now all men are trash. Now what's wrong with men? Now this and now that. You see what I'm saying? Or the guys who do approach them in real time, in real life, they clap their cheeks, they Netflix and chill, and then they're gone. Okay. And then that's why all men are trash, because they only want to clap my cheeks at night. They don't want to take me anywhere. They don't want to spend money, but you let them come in there and clap your cheeks. You let them not take you on a date and just come in there and hit it for free. You let them do all these things because you are attracted to that man. Okay. But then when that man doesn't want to spend time with you, or when he's leaving you on red, guess what? Now all men are trash. But you don't count the men who actually tried to approach you and who had good intentions. No, those fell by the wayside because you didn't even give them an opportunity. And that's the problem with simps, guys. That's what they do. That's the damage that they cause when it comes to other guys out here trying to date and trying to keep it real. All right. This woman here, what she's talking about right now, if this is true, if what she's saying is true, which I find very hard to believe, guys, but if it is true, let's just say it's true. All right. This is a 1 in a million type of situation. All right. This is like that Aaliyah song, 1 in a million. All right. This is not happening all over the place, guys. And if you think it is, you're smoking sherm sticks. OK, you're drinking extremely large amounts of sake. That sake glass is filled to the fucking brim. All right. If you believe that this is an everyday situation, an everyday scenario, you're cooked. OK, bottom line. Let's just call it what it is. Please don't believe that this is attainable on average. Please just don't believe that. But let's continue.
Hadn't even noticed that his phone wasn't really working. And through our marriage, he has continued to be that person. He over communicates. He reassures me. He just does things that make sense. And it's not that complicated. Like, it's really not that complicated. Normal people do normal things. If you're down a rabbit hole of content about a man that you like, He is not your husband. I have not went to the internet not one time to type in or look at or watch or figure out anything about my husband. It wasn't necessary. Plus, we both went to God about every decision that we made. And lastly, my husband never expected me to bring anything to the table. I'm laying in my bed right now making this TikTok, and he does not care. He's working his butt off, and he's not tripping, and he'll come in, clean up, cook, and do whatever he needs to do because he is the head of our household.
You see how she said that? He'll go work his ass off. She's at home not doing shit. He'll come home from work. He'll cook and he'll clean because he's head of the household. You see what I'm saying? In what world? In what world does this work for the majority? In what world, guys? That's right. Not on earth. It's never going to happen that a guy's never going to work, come home and cook and clean as well. Unless, like I said, he is a Simptonian. Now, there are Simptonians out there who will do that. He's probably some African guy or something. I'm telling you guys. All right. These are a rare breed. There are super simps as well. So this one sounds like a super simp, not just your average simp. All right. Because simps even have limits. But this guy right here, yeah, he should have his own comic book, his own manga, his own anime. This guy is a super simp. If this is true, like I said, she could be on here lying. Let's keep it real. A lot of people jump on social media and they paint a pretty picture, guys. Women do it a lot. OK, they come on here and they say this is this. They're living a great life. Da, 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 da. She may not even be with this guy anymore. Who fucking knows? I'm just keeping it real. I'm trying to give you guys the real here. And if you're women out here and you're watching this, I hope you guys don't take that and run with it, because it's going to get you hurt out. It's going to get you killed out here in these streets. OK, I'm just being honest. Let's continue.
Even though I'm ambitious, if I talk about things that I want to do, that doesn't change who he is as a man. He still does what he needs to do as a husband. And I brought 2 kids with me to the marriage. So all of the, you're older, you have kids, all that stuff is a lie. What you're probably doing, consuming that content, is just trying to validate your experience because someone hurt you. And it feels good to see women talk about men like him. So you can be like, see, I knew I wasn't crazy. But you don't need to put any more energy into men that aren't what you need. You don't need to validate that experience. You don't need people to confirm that you were right about the guy that was a F-boy that was never going to marry you or never going to do anything. And besides, consuming a lot of content can actually hurt your journey, because I almost thought my husband was love bombing me at first when he's just a genuinely good person. So log off. Maybe even don't worry about what I'm saying.
And that's it. And I'm not, trust me, you need to have complete faith that I'm going to do that. I'm not going to worry about anything you just said. Okay. Because it's not true. Okay. It's definitely not true. She's telling you guys literally, don't believe it. It's a lie. She's telling you that. Yeah, she's telling you that what people are telling you out here, as far as, the dating scene is concerned, when it comes to women not being able to have kids and be in a relationship with the average person. She's telling you that's a lie. But she's literally lying to you. And this is the type of thing that I'm talking about. And this is a lot of things that women are consuming. They're consuming videos like this. They're looking and listening to women like this out here and thinking that, oh, yeah, she is. It can go this way. All right. I can find a man with my 3 kids or with my 2 kids who will take me and marry me. Right. Come on, man. Are you serious? All right. Anyway, that's going to do it for the video, guys. Tell me what you think in the comments. Am I lying? Am I delusional here, guys? Is this woman actually right? And do you think that I'm just talking out the side of my neck? Please let me know. This is a brand new channel, guys. I'm growing the community. If you haven't hit the like and subscribe button, please do so. And everybody who is subscribed, guys, I want to say I love you dearly. And I'll see you guys in the next video.